Aman, you are working with Microsoft. So how easy or tough it was to prepare for this exam uh, while doing a high pressure job? If you have to tell me three things which are unique to you and for that reason you want to join civil services.
So what is the hierarchy of the police?
So can you share 2 or 3 gaps, administrative gaps that you have seen in Unnao that you would like to address as a civil servant?
Can you tell me what is quantum computing? Sheikh Hasina's exile in India, is this a reason also for the unrest or the anti-India rhetoric that we see in Bangladesh?
Are you aware of the terms glass ceiling and glass cliff? Can you please tell me one difference and one similarity between the philosophies of Gandhi and Marx?
Please come in.
Morning, sir. Morning, ma'am. Sir, morning, sir.
Good morning. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Aman,
Sir,
are you comfortable?
feeling all right.
Okay. So Aman, please introduce yourself to the board.
Sir, I am from Unnao district, Uttar Pradesh. I have done my BTech from NIT Allahabad. After that, I pursued job in Microsoft. Currently, I am employed in Cloud Plus AI division of Microsoft only. This is my second attempt, first interview.
Okay. So Aman, you come from Unnao, right? Why is Unnao in news these days?
Sir, recently it has been in news due to the case of local MLA called Unnao rape case. Latest fact there is that the Delhi High Court has suspended his conviction.
Okay.
On
So
the-
the case is sub judice. So
Sir.
my question is, when you read about such things
Sir.
and you come from that place,
Sir.
how do you feel? You feel that the justice system in our country is on the right track, or do you think there are areas where we need to improve?
Sir, specifically in this case, I would say the justice was delivered fast. The incident is from 2017 and the judgment was passed in 2019 itself. The concerned MLA was jailed, and then today we see the news of High Court suspending the conviction. At the same time, we see CBI has an appeal in Honorable Supreme Court done, and I believe today is where the hearing starts. So, sir, I think this case is.
But still, see, it's to 2017 case.
Sir.
Don't you think it's a case of justice delayed is justice denied?
Sir, I think the delay was 2 years, which is significant from any victim's point of view. But then the court has been cognizant enough, sir. In this case, the comments from Supreme Court have been very prompt. Matter of fact, today we are in the winter recess and still there's a bench headed by the Honorable CJI which is hearing the case. So I'll say, sir, we are in the right direction here.
Okay.
Sir.
So Aman, you are working with Microsoft.
Sir.
So how easy or tough it was to prepare for this exam while doing a high pressure job?
Sir, I would say in the beginning it was difficult for sure. I started my prep in 2023. I did a lot of struggle in terms of appearing in the first attempt. But with time, I learned to manage time, learned to manage stress, kept myself mentally and physically fit, and then today it's manageable, sir.
Okay. And you are already in a high paying job with a big MNC, right? It must be the dream job of many youngsters. So what makes you interested in civil services? I want a very pointed answer, not the answer that we often hear about like working for the society and all. We know that it is part and parcel of civil services. But if you have to tell me three things which are unique to you and for that reason you want to join civil services, what would that be?
Sir, I will say number one starts with my childhood. My father is a police sub-inspector, and then through his experience, I have learned to have a lot of respect for civil services. Number two, sir, would be growing up. I'll say candidate from a rural background, and I have seen how administration can transform the public service delivery and quality of life firsthand. So that's the second point. Third thing, sir, as a professional, I see there's a lot of convergence between IT today and governance overall. We are moving towards digital India. There are a lot of initiatives happening in the AI front, and I feel as a IT professional I can contribute a lot, and these are three things that come to my mind, sir.
Okay, Aman, thank you.
Yes, Aman, just now as you said, your father is sub-inspector in UP Police. So what is the hierarchy of the police in state?
So it begins with the constable level, then it goes to ASI, then SI, then there's a CO, then there would be typically DSP, SP, DIG, IG, and then it goes on to I'm forgetting one between DGP and IG. If there's somebody, I need to read more about that. But then DGP, and that's how it goes.
Okay, so suppose tomorrow you become an IAS officer. So what you would like to be called as? Bureaucrat, civil servant, or administrator?
Civil servant, sir.
Then what is bureaucrat and administrator? What is the difference between them?
Sir, my take would be that it is more on the function that people perform as part of that role. Civil servant is the spirit of that job, but then bureaucracy would mean having a hierarchy in place where sometimes instructions flow from top to bottom, sometimes accountability also is there from bottom to top. That's the bureaucracy part, sir. Administrator, I think, sir, in day-to-day job, IAS officers are supposed to work as an admin, in the sense that you have a policy framework in place and you are supposed to administer that, hence that. So my take is that, sir, these are various roles that we perform, but then in the spirit of it, I would be a civil servant, sir.
So what you will be enjoying, power or authority, or both?
Sir, I would say neither. Power and authority are part of the job, but then the enjoyment factor comes from being part of service delivery governance.
Okay. So as you from Unnao,
So,
and Unnao is at the eastern bank of Ganga, river Ganges.
sir.
And these days the Ganga Expressway is highlighted. So tell me about that Ganga Expressway, the total distance and from which cities passes through.
So not able to recollect the facts about Ganga Expressway. It passes through a town called Purva in Unnao. This is where an exit is. That part I'm able to recall, but stats I need to read more about that.
Okay.
So,
See, as we know that we do have the very parliamentary form of government, and suppose if we need to changes with the presidential form of government, what changes to be made?
so primary difference between presidential and parliamentary form of government is that there we need to elect the leader directly, in the sense that today president is indirectly elected. We might need to change that provision and then allow people to elect him or her directly. Number two, sir, maybe the form of cabinet would change, in the sense that today we have MPs which ultimately become the cabinet members. Taking example of USA, where the president appoints the cabinet themselves. Then, sir, third thing that might change is the separation between executive and legislation that we have today. Today, when I say that, I mean the honorable cabinet members are also part of parliament, but in USA that is not the case. So these three things come to my mind.
So,
Aman,
Yes,
you are from Unnao, right?
Yes.
Small town. And then you have shifted to Hyderabad working with Microsoft. So can you tell us about your transition from a small city, or maybe a district which is almost an obscure district, to one of the, Cyberabad kind of city? How you have done this kind of transformation?
Sir, I would say the transition was gradual. I am from Unnao, but then I did my college from Allahabad, which is a significant city in Uttar Pradesh, so I got some exposure over there. And then, of course, Hyderabad was a brand new experience for me, with infrastructure being at a different scale, new language, local language, exposures in the sense that corporate world also helped me talk to people from various countries. It was stressful in the beginning, I would say, certainly. But then I was kind enough to, or lucky enough to have good mentors who were there, good
Right.
seniors.
So can you share 2 or 3 gaps, administrative gaps, that you have seen in Unnao that you would like to address as a civil servant?
Sir, with reference to Telangana in particular, there the bureaucracy is very corporate type, in the sense that you would see buildings which are, accessible to people. You would not hesitate entering into the SP office of Telangana. As compared to that, if I say, can a common man feel empowered to enter to the SP office in Unnao, I would say no, sir.
So you feel that Telangana is administratively slightly better
than that.
you,
That is something
right?
we can learn. Second thing, sir, citizen engagement. And I can give one example. So when I shifted there in 2017, I saw an initiative over there for traffic police, where people can actually complain about fellow citizens if they are violating any traffic norms via technology. So there's a portal, you can go and upload that video. If I think back in Unnao, it's very, at least back then it was very subjective in the sense
Right.
that,
So despite of, Telangana being administratively so good,
right.
you have not opted Telangana as your, cadre preference. Why?
Sir, I joined there in 2017. I have spent enough time. I think, sir, exposure there was good, and then I got to learn a lot. But then I want to explore more areas in the country, and that's where I put Telangana as no-op in my choices.
Right. You have studied political science, right?
Yes, sir.
Recent days, there are voices about replacing a particular word from preamble, that is socialist word, right? Will it be a right part?
So that question has come up in judicial cases also, and Supreme Honorable Court has settled that debate. Even though the term was introduced later on, it was not part of the original constitution, but the spirit of the constitution was always socialist. Today we see government of the day following those policies. Manrega was a good example. VB Jairamji again is a good example of that. We see support in terms of health, education being done. So the term is at the right place, sir, and Honorable Court has clarified that.
Right. So you have worked with Microsoft, which is poster child of capitalism, while the preamble says India is a socialist state, right? So how can India reconcile between these two conflicting, ideologies? Is there a middle path possible?
Sir, I would say India has already been treading on that path. There are big corporations, but then these corporations allow income to the government, which then they can redistribute in welfare policies. Government has been doing that, sir. I think other things that we can more focus on, maybe CSR could be a good example. Today the cap is at 2% of the annual income. Maybe that cap can be tweaked a little bit to channel more funds. But overall, sir, I think not only does corporations supply taxes, they also provide employment, which again goes to welfare state concept only.
But again, there is constant complaint of government that despite government is spending too much on economy, corporate sector is not spending. So why, it is so, despite of so many tax cut, GST cut, why corporate is not spending on economy?
Sir, I would say the grievance is two-way. In the sense that government sort of complains that corporate is not spending too much money. At the same time, corporate continues to complain that the quality of candidates which are coming through is not at par. Matter of fact, today also AI is the talk of the day, right? But then assessment says that Indian students lack the actual skills needed for one to become AI professional. So that's where some hesitancy comes, sir. Second thing, I think that's inherent to any MNC is that they tend to follow what Raghuram Rajanji calls lip curve, in the sense that they invest R&D money somewhere, and then they invest the marketing money somewhere, and then they do bulk of execution.
Right. My last question to you is that you love repairing old motorcycle. So considering India's bureaucracy as an old format of bureaucracy, what kind of changes would you like to have in our bureaucratic system?
Sir, restoring old motorcycles, there what I do is I understand how things work, and then at least over there I aim for pin-to-pin restoration. In case of bureaucracy, sir, I think the pin-to-pin restoration would not help. Maybe we should think about how can we preserve the integrity and structure, at the same time modernize from the core. So I would say, sir, if I were to draw an analogy from the motorcycle world, I would say replace the engine with a more efficient one. Keep the chassis, keep the body, keep the paint and exteriors, but then replace the engine, make it more efficient, make it less noisy, make it less pollutant.
Fine. Thank you, Aman.
Aman, you have a strong technical background. Can you tell me what is quantum computing?
Yes, ma'am. Quantum computing is a computer based on the quantum principles. The classic computing as we perceive it is based on bits, 0 and 1, while quantum computing works on qubits.
And what is quantum communication?
Ma'am, quantum communication would be communication between two particles which are spaced across and then can communicate simultaneously.
Okay, so that also works on quantum principles.
Yes, ma'am.
You work in Microsoft and you've been talking about AI a lot. Microsoft this year saw record layoffs. So was AI a reason behind that?
Ma'am, as a Microsoft employee, I'm not supposed to say a few things, so I'll refrain from commenting on that. However, as a citizen, I would say no. It's a perception that AI productivity is causing loss of jobs. While Microsoft has been doing that as a financial tightening, what we have seen is that post-COVID there was a lot of boom in IT sector, a lot of hiring took place. And perhaps the employee size or employee count went out of hand, and now they are doing that.
So there have been speculations that AI transformation was the major reason behind these record layoffs. Okay, anyways, do you think it is a threat to software jobs in India, AI in particular?
Ma'am, from my personal experience, it is not. It helps in productivity actually. I use AI on day-to-day basis, and what I have seen is that it sort of automates 20% of my manual items. If used properly and skill up happens at the same time, ma'am, it would not be a threat to the
Upskilling and reskilling needs to happen at the same pace, right? All right. You enjoy graffiti. Is graffiti legal in India?
Not in public places, ma'am.
Not in. So where do you paint?
Ma'am, personally, I paint on my terrace. So a bunch of walls which are blank, we paint there. And then in office also, we have these team building activities where we choose an office wall and then do a graffiti as a team collectively.
Okay. What is sanctioned graffiti?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of the definition, but I can take a guess with your
Sure.
permission. Perhaps it could mean a designated place where artists can come and then showcase their skills. I know some examples from Germany. There are graffiti walls where they invite these professionals across the world, and then people can come and perform. So
Are
perhaps
you
meant that.
okay? Are you aware of the procedure in India?
Not sure, ma'am. I need to do it.
No problem. You're aware of the turmoil in Bangladesh?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the reason behind that?
Ma'am, it began with the policy of reservation that the then Bangladesh government introduced. Then it escalated to student protests, and then unfortunate killings of students. After that, the then Prime Minister had to leave the country, and then she's sort of seeking asylum in India today.
What are the negative implications on India for this?
Ma'am, the implications are across the spectrum. I'll start with perhaps trade. Bangladesh has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia, and then that has impacted. I heard news of certain land ports closing. There are implications of internal security with the illegal immigration coming in. There are implications of foreign policy also, ma'am. Today there's a talk of Pakistan, Bangladesh, China nexus, which is forming. These
Okay.
come to my
And Sheikh Hasina's exile in India, is this a reason also for the unrest or the anti-India rhetoric that we see in Bangladesh?
Ma'am, I would say that is one of the strains, at least based on the news that I read.
Then why haven't we asked her to leave yet and face the punishment at home?
Ma'am, I'll say two reasons. Number one, Sheikh Hasina as a Prime Minister has been an asset to India. She has been a great friend, and then we have seen a lot of policy improvements done during her time. Secondly, ma'am, the extradition that we talk about has a clause on extempting any kind of political persecution, and I believe that's what sort of India.
That's the major reason, because in the first one you'll be like pro one person but anti the entire nation. Right. Thank you, Aman. Ma'am.
Hi, Aman. Are you aware of the terms glass ceiling and glass cliff?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please explain the difference to me?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, these two terms especially are used in context of women leaders. Glass ceiling would mean that you're not able to rise beyond a certain level. So even though it seems like there's no ceiling, there is one. Example of that is the I would say pyramidal structure of women count. I would say we see a lot of women candidate at the lower levels, but my own team, right? There's a hierarchy of 7 leaders, and there's not a single woman leader in that hierarchy. So glass ceiling. Glass cliff, on the other hand, would mean that on a times of crisis, a woman would be put in charge, so that if unfortunately things were to go down, they will blame the woman leader. That's the glass cliff.
Can you please cite an example for that? Can you think of an example?
Nothing comes to my mind.
Okay, no problem. Can you explain to me the difference between jail and prison?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of the definition, but I can take a guess.
No, never mind. Can you please explain to me the difference between parole and furlough?
Ma'am, I'm a little bit rusty on the concept. What I am able to recall is that one is a right, other one is not. But which one is which, I need to read more about.
Okay, never mind. You've studied PSIR. Can you please tell me one difference and one similarity between the philosophies of Gandhi and Marx?
Sure, ma'am. I'll start with the difference part. Karl Marx favored large industries, while Gandhiji favored cottage industries, small scale, this thing. Similarity would be the concept of anarchism. Both of them did not want the state to have. Marx famously said the state would wither away. Gandhiji, on the other hand, said that the state would not be needed to begin with. Village republic would be the right republic model.
All right. So you are interested in restoring old motorcycles. Can you please tell me something about the vehicle scrappage policy of India?
Yes, ma'am. The policy was launched, I believe, in 2021, which allows one to get benefits in terms of monetary benefits if you sort of submit your old vehicle for scrappage, and then there are benefits in terms of getting a new one. I'm not clear on the numbers though, ma'am. I need to read more about that.
All right. You're also interested in badminton. Can you please explain to me the difference between smash and kill?
Ma'am, I'll start with kill. kill typically is played from near the in net. Basically, if you have a shuttle coming high up the air, you hit it downwards. That's a kill. Smash, on the other hand, can be typically hit from most of the parts of the ground, but as a player, I would say center to back is where we played. In terms of scoring, ma'am, kill in most of the cases is a definite shot, while smash people can pick.
Okay. So, are you aware of the recent case of Karnataka where a woman was beaten to death on pretext of exorcism?
I am not, ma'am.
Never mind. So, this happened, and a woman was believed to be possessed by a spirit, and her relatives and family did beat her to death in order to exorcise her. Now, can you please tell me how would you deal as a district magistrate? How would you deal with such superstitious beliefs?
Ma'am, I think it's a mix of two things. Definitely, it's a law and order situation where somebody has been beaten to that. But then the stem is not coming from a criminal mindset, it's coming from lack of awareness. Lack of scientific rigor and temper is what I will say. As an immediate step, ma'am, law and order has to be stringent. A murder is a murder, be it on the grounds of rivalry or be it on the grounds of superstition. So I will enforce law and order. I'll ensure that the police takes steps in this case. But the long-term solution would be lied in awareness. So public campaigning would be done. Education curriculum can be updated to ensure that these things are covered. Superstitions mindset is not percolated. That would be my steps, ma'am.
So my final question to you is that your interview is on the 15th of January. Are you aware of the significance of that date?
Ma'am, that would be Makar Sankranti. And then in Allahabad, where my college has been done, there's a huge mela being organized called Magh Mela. A lot of people come there and visit for roughly 45 days. It's a significant event over there.
Okay, thank you.
Aman, you're a student of PSIR. So tell me from where this concept of nation state has originated.
Sir, primarily it's an European concept where people organized themselves in a state on the lines of sometimes tribe, sometimes language, and then a notion of nationality has formed over there.
So it's a Eurocentric concept. So if you have to define India, like would you like to call India a state, a nation state, or a state nation?
Sir, I would call India a nation. We not only have a political entity that has been put in place as part of our constitution, we also have a shared history, shared culture. Despite the diversities, we have a sense of brotherhood, fraternity. Okay. So I would call.
Don't you think that India has many nations within itself?
So looking from the European lens, one could say that, because their notion of having a nation being people of one, let's say, tribe forming up in a geographical entity, form a nation or a language. India has a separate history, it has a separate evolution, sir, and I would not apply that lens in Indian context.
Okay. What is your view on India-US relations? Like we were seeing that India-US relations were going on in a very positive trajectory, but suddenly President Trump's second tenure, it has upset the India-US relationship to a large extent. Do you see any course correction in the near future, or you think that things are going to get worse from here?
Sir, I would say India and US have seen ups and downs in their at least bilateral relationships. Today, certainly we are in a, I would say, downward slope, in the sense that economic collaboration has a little bit lessened. Matter of fact, the security policy that US released last month, actually December month only, we have seen that it differs significantly from how it was 20 years ago. Having said that, sir, we are also trying to negotiate the trade deal that should smoothen out various hurdles that we see. The defense cooperation continues to be strong. The diaspora continues to be strong, sir. So my take would be that the fundamentals are there. It's a as we call it in software, glitch, a temporary glitch that should be smoothened out soon.
Okay. What do you understand by this term fourth world?
Sir, I need to read more about that.
Okay. And these terms, third world and global south, are these synonymous, or like is there a finer difference? And which term do you think is more appropriate?
So I start with the last part first. Global south is the term that we use today. The term third world finds its history in, I would say, post-war era, where one block was US, other block was USSR, and then third countries, NAM countries primarily were the third world. Now, global south shares certain common issues which are there, and then that's where global south becomes more prominent. Some examples being health issues, environmental pollution, environmental funding, and growth aspects.
Okay. My last question to you. There's a huge uproar over Aravalli's new definition. So, what is the new definition and what is the challenge posed by it?
So historically, Aravallis have been governed by various states depending upon their own definition. Honorable Supreme Court has accepted a unified definition of 100 meters height. At the same time, the blanket ban on mining has been conditionally removed. The uproar is stemming from the fact that a perception of exploitation of the Aravallis. My take on that, sir, is that Honorable Minister has also clarified that there would be a large scale survey conducted, and based on that only we'll sort of start the mining leases.
Okay. Okay, Aman, it was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Sir.
Please come. Please take your seat, Aman.
Thank you, sir.
So, Aman, this is going to be your first interview in the commission?
Yes.
Okay. And this is your second attempt, I understand.
Second attempt, yes, sir.
Okay. So, Aman, how was your experience?
Sir, I would say I was a little bit stressed while I entered the room, but then panel members have been kind enough to sort of make me comfortable. Second thing, sir, the questions have been very diverse. At the same time based on DAF and current affairs. That was good. I think it simulates the real experience.
Any area where you felt that maybe I could have given a better answer? Or?
Sir, the fourth word one definitely struck as a gap to me. I mean, it seems like a core concept, but I'm not aware that also is true at the same time. Quantum computing one, I could have given a better answer. Generally, I should have rehearsed these questions beforehand. I mean, I know the concept, but then summarizing that in 2 sentences can be a little bit tough. So that transition from hometown to Hyderabad, again, it's a long journey, sir. And when I sat back and I tried to recall, too many things came to my mind. I found it difficult to choose few, especially those which are important for governance. So I could have done a better job at that. Ma'am, Karnataka one, I think it's a serious issue, but then I need to read more on the current affairs. I think I was able to respond to it, but then the first question I should have been able to answer. It's a very heinous crime, and then it sort of, should be something I have to be able. Sir, I think for your questions, I was able to do okay, but I'm open to take feedback for sure.
No, Aman, like you have summarized it very well.
So,
okay, and we found you to be an excellent candidate, right? So there's no reason that why you should not be in the services very soon, right? So our best wishes. There are very few things which we would like to point out, right? And first thing, let's start with your entry and all. The entry was perfect. You have to reach near the chair, stop, and you can greet the board together, right? Rather than greeting individually, right? So you can say like good morning ma'am and good morning sirs, and that's it. Then wait for the chair to ask you to sit.
So
and thank them and sit down. Okay, and the interview starts. Right. Regarding the eye contact, you were trying to make eye contact with all of us, which is not very natural. So it's much better if we try to maintain eye contact with the person we are speaking to.
Sure, sir.
And a glance here and there is fine, but largely with the person you are speaking to. Okay, so that's more natural, and that is how it should be done. Then while sitting, your legs, they can be a little bit nearer, closer, yes. And even your hand placement, so it was like this, but if it can be like this, it will be more formal.
This is better, sir.
Yes. Okay. And one thing about the tie, I think the tie is very, very short.
I will fix that, sir.
So it's looking a little bit odd, right? So that day you should be ready, and that knot should be like
properly. I'll fix that.
There, right? Other than this, you have a knack of using the right words and terminologies. So we were quite impressed with that. Okay, so you had the right words and right logic behind most of your answers. Okay, so that's very good. Okay, like in fact, like while answering a question about bureaucrats and civil servant and I think there was another term.
Administrator.
So, yes, administrator. Your answer and the logic behind it was very impressive. Right? So it's very nice. Keep that up. And there was a question on Microsoft where, like you said, that you would not be able to say. So see, there the panel, you have to make sure that they are not offended by anything you say. Okay. So you have to tone it in a way that it doesn't sound like as in like you have to take the onus.
Something.
Yes, maybe some other word and in a different way you can say the same thing. Acha, wherever you are not sure, for example, fourth world, or in some questions asked by ma'am. So don't go for attempting those questions, right? For example, payroll and furlough, you said that I'm little bit rusty, but still one is right, one is not. See, they are not interested in that. So, and it will reflect better on you if you just say that, sorry sir, I had read about it, but I am unable to recall at this moment. That is fine. So, no need to show that you know, but you are not able to recall. Just admit it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That would be better, because otherwise it seems that you are wanting to answer everything. It's not needed in interview situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So these are the only things, Aman. Otherwise, you are totally ready for the interview, right? I think you can go from here and you can appear for the interview, right? So you just need to keep the tempo and make sure that you stay updated with the current affairs. I think you have opted for Telangana as your home state, right? So why the reason for that?
Sir, I was guided by the coaching institutions that if you work, that also counts as a qualification for home cadre.
But then you have not given it as your first preference also, right? So that question may arise. So be ready with an answer why you have opted for it as the home state, but then again not preferred it, right? So you should have a reason for that. Okay. Rest of the things are in place, Aman. So just stay updated with the current happenings, and that is it, right? And I think your preparation on your DAF front is very good. You are a working candidate, so a lot of questions on the H1B visa issue also you can expect, because you are from Microsoft.
Yes, sir.
And India-US relationship, and
yes, sir.
The dynamics of it, because you are having PSIR as your optional.
Yes, sir.
So all of these things you should see. Okay. So we wish you all the very best, and we look forward to seeing you in the merit list with a good rank.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I had two questions. I've been working on this feedback for a while now. One is my sitting. Coming from I would say corporate world, these things are not noticed. So I'm learning to check myself a lot. But then still, if you have any feedback on if I'm sitting incorrectly, I'll be...
No, sitting is fine. We just felt that the legs are too far apart, so they can be together close, and the rest of the things are in order, right? So no issues with it.
Second feedback, sir, that I get is I'm little bit informal in communications. Like I tend to use terms like correct, sir, you are right, sir, and I'm working on avoiding those. So did I make any mistakes on those lines here?
Today, like we did not notice it as such, right? So it was fine. Your communication, in fact, we liked it. The way you are communicating, I think it is formal to the extent needed, and I think that is what you should keep that in mind. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you, sir, and ma'am.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.